Hello everyone, welcome to Purple Rose Crafts. Today we're going to work on our hat body. In the last video we did our crown, our nice flat circle like we've done here. So I'm showing another example of the flat circle. It is a tiny bit shaped, which is perfect for our hat. So what we're starting with here is 5 rows of just straight double crochet as we did in the previous video. It's about 5 inches in diameter, and we're going to continue along with our 4.5mm crochet hook here. And we've also grabbed, this yarn is our Snuggly Wuggly by Loops and Threads, and it's a soft lilac color. We are gonna do a nice and simple granny stripe for this hat. We are going to start with our chain 2 here at the beginning, and then we're gonna double crochet twice into our first stitch. So what we're doing for granny stripes clusters is 3 double crochets in 1 stitch. That gives us our granny cluster. Now we're gonna go ahead and skip 2 stitches and do 3 double crochets into the next. So for our body of our hat, we are going to stop our increases. We don't want to change the number of stitches on your row. So we are doing our groups of 3, then we skip 2 stitches and do a granny cluster into the 3rd one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue this row. Give this video a pause and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are coming up to the end of the row, and because we started with a multiple of 12 stitches on our initial inside circle, what happens is our granny stripes are multiples of 3 stitches, which also works out into the multiples of 12 that we have for the beginning of our circle. So it worked out perfectly. So I have 2 between the two clusters here, and then I have 2 more stitches here at the end. So it worked out pretty well there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch to the top of the chains from the previous row. And now we're going to chain 2 for our next row. And what we have here is it appears that the chains are actually at the end of this cluster. So it's kind of like you can always do 2 double crochets over top of it, like so. That's just 1, but you can do it this way where you kind of double crochet over top of the slip stitch. Or what I generally like to do for this part is I will actually leave my 2 chains here and leave them for the end of the row. So I will generally skip over and work into the next section space between my clusters, like so. And we'll keep going with our granny clusters and granny stripes around our hat. Now you can change colors. You can, leave it all one color. I have done many different variations of this hat. If you check out the post I included in the description below, it talks about the crown and shows a bunch of different examples of this style of hat that I have made in the past that you can reference and get some ideas about how to do your colors. And I've also included below in the description the links to the materials I'm using if you guys want to give those a try. All right, so as you can see what's happening here with my hat, it is starting to curl in the wrong direction. It doesn't matter. We just, pull it back, flatten it the correct way, and it is becoming more of like a bowl, which is what we're looking for. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue our granny clusters until we get down towards the bottom of the hat. And once we get about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from our desired length, then we're going to start our edging. So generally I like to start with a row of single crochets and then actually do my edging. If you want to add ear flaps or something like that, you can definitely check out. There will be another video posted in this playlist once we go ahead and make that. But for this hat and this body, we're just gonna do a straight single crochet edge. I even like changing colors for just like 1 row of single crochet. It looks really cute. Go ahead and give this video a pause here. Go ahead and work this hat until you get down to your about 1 inch or 1/2 inch from your desired length, and then we will be back to go ahead and finish off the bottom edge of our hat. All right, so here we are. We've done 6 rows of our granny stripe. Now I haven't done any color changes in this hat, but you absolutely can. I've done it before where you change colors each row, like go back and forth, say with white or pink or even blue. Honestly, it looks really, really cute. For this one, I have just done a single color for every row. But you know what, go ahead. I mean, you guys can go ahead and experiment with different color choices for this one. So now we're getting down into the bottom of the hat. So generally when I'm crocheting little hats, especially for babies, I like to add kind of an interest row at the bottom, like a couple of rows of single crochet to finish it off. Now there is some question when you are doing this, because when you single crochet on top of double crochet, it's really tight. And so you'll end up with a really, really tight bottom of your hat that doesn't stretch. There's no give to it. So if it's even the least bit tight on the baby, or as they grow, you know, it'll start to get tight. And so then you will want to be able to stretch a little bit around, say, to go over their ears and stuff like that. So what I like to do is and this goes for basically every hat size, I will single crochet my row, but on the very first row only of my hat, about every 10 stitches or so, I will do 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So basically every 10 stitches, I will crochet 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. It adds some stitches to the row and gives us a little bit more give to the fabric and allows us to stay relatively close to the same size as our double crochet row above it. Unfortunately, because single crochet is so small, it does get a little bit tight, but you can see like through this area, it's still pretty stretchy. But through here, we've got tons of stretch in the hat. So we want to make sure that we continue our stretchiness at least a little bit throughout this bottom, or the first row of our brim for our hat. I started my row off with a chain, 2 single crochets in the first, and then we're gonna single crochet 10 times. So we have 2, 4, 6, and then we're gonna do another single crochet. So the larger the hat you're making, the more single crochets you're going to add to your row, but that's okay. That's why we say it's about every 10 stitches or so, because you know, you'll need a little bit more give in a bigger hat. So it'll make sense once you kind of get into, say, an adult size hat, you'll want even more give in the bottom section. All right, I think that's 10. Let's count them again. So we have our 2 here. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, we went 1 too many. So we're gonna go back and just do 1 more single crochet into this stitch here. And then we're gonna single crochet 10 more. All right, now when you get down to the bottom of your hat, it is very versatile. You can add ear flaps. You can add sort of like a newsboy brim. You can do lots of different things. And now I have included in my free hat pattern available on our blog the examples for a couple of different hat edgings. So we can see here back a little ways, this is our 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I did it again, I went 12. All right, so there we go. We're gonna add our 2 in there. All right, so we're gonna continue around this hat doing our single crochet row. We're gonna go ahead and add a couple more rows of single crochet to the bottom. So I will be back in just a moment once we've done probably about 4 rows. You want to, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you want to stop your hat body, this is the body, about 1 inch or 2 above where the end of the hat is. All right, and here at the end of the row, we're going to insert our hook and slip stitch to the chain that we left at the beginning of the row. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and add a couple of more rows of single crochet, and then we're going to finish it off with some ear flaps, which will actually happen in a separate video. So have a look for that, hit subscribe if you want to catch that video when it's posted. The rest of our rows of the brim of our hat are done in straight single crochet. There is no increases at all. We increased only on that first row. Going forward, we're gonna add the ear flaps video in its own video. So have a look for that. It'll be part of the series that we're adding, how to crochet a hat, which the playlist will be linked below. And if you guys want to use any of the materials we're using, this crochet hook honestly came from the dollar store and it's one of my favorites. So, you know, don't overlook the dollar store when you're looking for you know, crochet supplies. It was actually the Dollar Tree that was local to me. One of the hooks broke out of the 4 that I bought, but this purple one is still going strong. It's our 4.5mm. But I will link the ergonomic hooks that I've been using as well, which are also some of my favorite hooks. They just are so soft and, you know, fit really well into my hand. The ergonomic set that I have, that is linked below, fits just a tiny bit better into my hand, so I don't find that I'm, you know, holding it above where the thumb spot is. Anyway, all right, so that's it for this video. We're gonna go ahead and finish it off, and I will show you a finished picture at the end. But if you guys made it all the way to the end here, hit the like button, and don't forget to comment below and let me know what you guys want to see crocheted in the round in the next video, and or in the video after the ear flap video, because of course we'll do the ear flaps next in the next crochet video. So I look forward to hanging out with you guys next time, and thanks so much.